Oi, oi, all right, I'm Grant, you're you. This is the Doodle Review coming through with a new album to give a spin, chat some fraff about, and then assign an arbitrary score to. Today, we're talking about the new Illuminati Hotties called Power. Illuminati Hotties is the band name of a project led by singer, songwriter, producer, engineer Sarah Tudson out of Los Angeles, California. I got in quite early on this project because the 2018 debut Kiss Your Frenemies got some buzz across like various best of lists that year. It really didn't take long for me to see why the record was getting the praise and didn't take long for me to also love it myself. After all, its recipe included a lot of my favorite ingredients: dry sardonic wit, catchy earworm pop choruses, rough, loose but tight performances, and to top it off, some really weird, almost funny production quirks. There's a song called Pressed to Death with these little breaks to like color in the lyrics, like a moment where Tudzin is describing a song that she's written and she's describing it as a banger, so it drops to this split second of like guitar shredding. It's kind of hard to explain, but it was really cool. This was followed up in 2020 with a mixtape called Free IH. This is not the one you've been waiting for. And here, because the project was released amidst like a contract dispute with Tutsin's previous label, that sardonic wit underlined by cutting, often humorous production was dialed up to 11, almost taking the project in a punk direction due to its snark. 2021's Let Me Do One More softened those edges a bit, emphasizing the pop hooks over the aggressive, awkward production. But it really worked, giving fans a number of bangers like Pool Hopping and Hoo Hoo Ya Ya Ha. It felt like a very conscious mix of indie rock and pop punk. And that takes us to this year's Power. Although I don't tend to project expectations onto new music from the artwork alone, this album's front cover, a very clean traditional photo shoot presenting Tudzin without any kind of like obfuscation, did give me pause to wonder if it might signify a change in direction from those previous lo-fi gritty projects that I love so much. And that hunch, as it turns out, was right. Gone are the scratchy, rough guitars, the purposefully obnoxious, tongue in cheek production, and the vocals that kind of border on abrasive as much as they do sugar sweet. Instead, we have a very cleanly produced, straight laced pop rock record with warm, double tracked vocals and far and away a more conventional aesthetic from Sarah Tudzin than we've ever heard from her before. It's hard not to say that with at least a little disappointment because I did fall in love so deeply and so quickly with this artist's snotty bedroom lo-fi indie rock, but make it crisp, cool, and kind of punk rock whole sensibility. However, one thing Power does display so clearly is that the soul of this project is Tudsin's personality and seemingly effortless hook writing ability. Although the edges have been sanded down here, you still can't deny the songs like The L and I Would Like Still Love You, the very Californian like inserted into the latter's title, a prime example of the ironic writing style that sets Tudsin apart from the wide array of sad girl indie, riot girl light artists that are out there right now. Can't Be Still opens the album with a slow, dusty beat at an almost hip hop tempo, and the kind of clean guitars that sit on top remind me of an artist like Beck, while Rot's very quiet acoustic intensity recalls the almost dream pop aesthetic of Mannequin Pussy's latest record. The filtered beats, reverse guitar textures, and the gliding chorus vocals on You Are Not Who You Were to Me deliver this sound in a more interesting, effective way than anything on that much hyped record, on that Mannequin Pussy record, though, I must say. I do think there are some occasional moments where the move towards like a more conventional sound starts to veer a little into blandness. The title track is a slow burn that never quite becomes as intoxicating as Tudzin's slower ones can be, and Falling in Love with Somebody Better, despite its slightly detuned synth lead, is a bit by the numbers, and this style of track has been done better by this artist at a few other points in her catalogue. I was, though, really pleased to find subtle glimpses of that Illuminati Hotties weirdness under the surface on tracks like Didn't, with its harder edge guitars that drop into a quirky keyboard melody, and YSL with its electronic pitch shifting vocal manipulations, a trick that it's hard to imagine any other artist reaching for given a similar song. Overall, Power is a strong record with undeniable hooks that prove Sarah Tudzin's unique sensibility was not actually tied to the tongue-in-cheek production of previous records. It's just that removing those elements does make things a little less fun. I'm going to give this a straight 7. And before we completely knock it on the head, I'll introduce like a new component to the ranking system, which is the list. It's the vinyl list, the list of our albums I want to buy. You know, we know the rating, but does Illuminati Hotties make that list? For those that don't know, this is like an ever-growing list of titles that I want to own on vinyl at some point. Yeah, I think this absolutely makes the list. It's a comfortable ad. Like I've got a couple of other records and I'd like to continue. And this is great. So put it on. With that out of the way, it is time to knock it on the head. Let me know what you're saying about this album in the comments. If you've heard it, let me know. If you haven't, go away, hear it, come back. Check out some reviews in the description that are linked to this sort of sound. And if you can be asked to do all that, you may as well subscribe, stick around, share some thoughts, show some love, or just have some abuse in the comments. And I'll see you in the next video. All right, my name you go. Cheers, mate. Take care. Bye.